The road to the PGR SummerSlam 499 continues tonight as we enter the month of July. Now, just 1 month away from the second annual running of the PGR eSports SummerSlam 499. We continue the build-up. We continue the anticipation. The entry list is open. Entries are coming in. The field's starting to shape up for this year's biggest sim racing event of the summer. Last year, a certified banger. This year, looking to live up to the billing that it has created for itself. And the road to that race continues once again here tonight. It is a rare Wednesday for the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series as we make another stop in the plains of Alabama at the virtual Talladega Superspeedway for tonight's edition of Intimidator Superspeedway Series action. Good evening, everyone, and welcome in high atop the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. My name is Dawson Wise. I'll be on the call for you this evening as we get you set for 76 laps of action in the Gen-6 race cars here at Talladega. Loaded field tonight from top to bottom, so the best of the best in money racing, and a few names we haven't seen in quite a while. We'll get to those and all the other racers in tonight's event here in just a moment when we head trackside as we get another racing week under our belts tonight. Tonight is a bit of a one-off PGR race as PGR steps in here on a Wednesday to host an event. We were not going to race this week, but last minute decided that we would go racing tonight on a Wednesday. The payouts are still big. The entry fee was still premier. It is still, in all essence, a PGR eSports race. We're so happy to bring you along for the ride here tonight. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Feel free to use the chat. Go ahead and like the stream, subscribe, share the link. Tell everybody it's PGR night in America on a Wednesday on this 4th of July week. Happy 4th of July to everybody as we get ready for this holiday weekend. We're going to head down trackside right away. No time to waste here on a Wednesday evening in Talladega as we get the cars on the grid for the first time tonight at Talladega. Again, it is the Gen-6 race car. It is almost 40 entries. On the grid, we'll have 36 as of the count on my timing and scoring right this second. They're starting to load in on the grid, and with that being said, let's get to the starting grid for tonight's running of PGR eSports Intimidator Superspeedway Series action at Talladega. On the pole with a time of 52.306 seconds, it is going to be the Jack Shack driver, Jared Haynes, the 007, with a quick time tonight and just barely missing out of the pole. Looks like Atlanta with Josh Berry and Joey Logano. It's Trevor Osborne, another Jack Shack car, locking out the front row for the boys over at JSR. The 89 of Trevor Osborne will roll from second. Row 2, Nick Seipel in the 75, and that bright pink paint scheme, bit of a different look for him tonight. He'll roll third. It'll be Kyler Wynn, a man who's won everything there is to win in sim racing and here in money racing as well in the 82. He'll roll from fourth. Row 3, it's one of the guys we have not seen in quite a while. It's Jackson Anderson in the 83, a driver that started the PGR 500 back in February, making his rounds for the SummerSlam. He'll start tonight from 5th, and it's Jeff Merck for NBG back there in the 6th position. Row 4, Mike Davenport of PGR eSports, Team PGR in the 55. He'll roll from 7th. It'll be Freddie Bazinez in the 54, rolling from 8th position. It'll be the 4 on the car, 54 on the timing and scoring. Row 5, Dusty Martin in the 35, a driver who showed up on Monday running for a spot in the SummerSlam 499, shows up again here on a Wednesday. It's Dylan Basin that will start to his outside in the 36 on timing and scoring, the 11 on the side of the race car. Row 6, Asher Little in the bright green and black and yellow Sundrop Chevrolet. He'll roll from 11th with Adam Young of the Jack Shack back in 12th position. Row 7, it'll be Brian Hennings of Team PGR in the 74 and Hunter Hastings in the 69 machine. Row 8, another Jack Shack driver, another couple Jack Shack drivers make that. 15th will be David Flanagan, the Subway Ford, and Kenny Reel in that bright blue Jordan car. He'll roll from 16th. Row 9, a new driver to PGR making his first career starts. Kevin Jaden in the 65, Nash Brambill in the 23 for PGR on the outside of row 9. Michael Guest will roll from the inside of row 10, and rounding out the top 20 to be another Coke Series driver, Daniel Falkingham, the defending winner of the SummerSlam 499. Row 11, Malik Ray in the 1 machine will roll 21st tonight. His teammate Stephen Miles will roll from 22nd. It'll be Landon Velicki in the 62 for Nightmare back in 23rd, and Dylan Jones in the 24th spot. Row 13, another Jack Shack car, Joe Huerta on the grid in 25th. It'll be D3, Daniel Eberhardt in 26th position in the 90. Row 14, it'll be Michael Triscaro in the 34 machine, the owner of PGR and owner of Team PGR. It'll be Austin Green, the Green Ghost in the 87 in 28th position. Row 15, Josh McCullough, the McCullough Boys in the 05, and Paul Turner making a return, a longtime Super Speedway veteran back in 30th. Row 16, Chris Carter in the 25 will line up alongside Tucker McClendon in the 00. Row 17, Quentin Steinbach will roll from 33rd tonight with Kenny McCullough, the owner of the McCullough Motorsports team, back in 34th. Row 18, Chase Mastretta in the 8 machine will line up alongside Cameron Craighead, one of the final 4 drivers in the Light Series just a few weeks ago. They'll roll from the final 2 spots on the grid in 35th and 36th. Quick look at your race info as we get you ready for a race tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. It is 76 laps in the Gen-6 race car, a 70% fuel load, 2 extra tire sets in the pits tonight for these drivers. No fast repair in the Gen-6, that is notable. This racing is crazy. It encourages a lot of big blocks and big moves and sometimes a lot of wrecks as well. No fast repair in the pits for these drivers tonight. A fixed setup and only 1 green-white checkered available should we require it. Well, it's a very rare Wednesday appearance for the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series, but nonetheless, racing goes on all the same, and we're going to do just that in just a moment as Jared Haynes will bring the field slowly into this long tri-oval. The start-finish line 1,000 feet further down the front stretch than it would be at Daytona. These guys are ready. They're amped. The road to the SummerSlam 499 continues into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Talladega. "36 cars roar to life for the first time tonight. It'll be Jared Haynes and Trevor Osborne, not the pair of teammates that will lead the first lap, but a huge push on the outside vaults the 89, that white and red Chevrolet, to the lead. It's the push from Kyler Wynn, white and red 82. Going to be a force tonight in this Gen 6 race car. He loves this car, loves the way he can push. He's tandem Trevor away from the field. They will come back here in a moment. The bottom line for now sits third, make it fourth in line as Dylan Basin gets by. They may be fifth in line by the time they get down here to turn number 3. Basin hooks the left. He's going to hang a turn out from underneath the field. He will try to come forward in that offer pad number 11 machine. He'll battle Osbernaut as that outside comes down to side draft. You'll see that throughout the evening tonight. The outside will try to essentially what we call park that inside lane, vault their run or stop their run from coming forward. You see it is effective right there as Osbernaut gets back clear. So does Kyler Wynn, but the bottom will regroup. They will recharge that energy, and now as Wynn and Osbernaut come separated for the first time, the push goes to the bottom, and now it's Dylan Basin that challenges for the race lead as the field works up the banking of turns 1 and 2, and now out of the Alabama gang super stretch for the first time tonight. Osbernaut nearly getting turned by Kyler Wynn. He makes the save. Out back, Kenny Reel in the bright blue 11 with Daniel Falkingham. They're going to take a couple drivers 3 wide. One of those was Hunter Hastings. Could not tell who the other car was. May have been Adam Young in the Miller Lite Chevy for the Jack Shack. Into turn 3 one more time. Basin now got to the lead, but not for long. It's now Jared Haynes on the push from Nick Seipel that gets to the point as the field works back off turn number 4 and towards the front straightaway once again. Out back, Nash Brambilla, Landon Velicki, and Michael Triscaro, who's running a new-ish paint scheme tonight back there in the Bark Chevrolet. He rolls to the outside. They were trying 3 wide, not much headway though. Haynes leads, Seipel on the inside. He's got help from one of the drivers in the PGR 500 back in February, Jackson Anderson, who returns to PGR tonight, again making the rounds, preparing for the SummerSlam 499, and doing very good so far to get all the way up to the front. He'll have help now from Davenport on the inside with Dusty Martin in behind them. On the outside, it's Seipel that leads, followed by Jared Haynes, and then it's Basin, then it's Osbernaut. Kyler Wynn resorts back to the tail of the top 10. On the bottom, here comes the run. Seipel sees it, blocks. It's Basin with Trevor Osbernaut on the inside. Basin hooks a right, gets back to the outside, but no help coming. Seipel gets a big push from Osbernaut, tries to slide back in line. Osbernaut and the rest of the guys in the bottom lane cut a break, and that's going to help Dylan Basin out big time. It's the offer pad Toyota Camry that goes to the point. Lap 4 complete, lap 5 on the board. Through the middle, here comes Daniel Falkingham, that blue, orange, and white Chevrolet. He's pushed by teammate Jeff Merck and Landon Velicki. Big push from Osbernaut to Seipel as Basin blocked that bottom lane. Bit unorthodox to see a guy go top to bottom. He does it right there. That'll give Jared Haynes an opportunity to lead up on the outside. Here comes Kenny Reel, Michael Triscaro, and Nash Brambilla. They are vaulting their way to the front. Middle lane gains another couple cars. One of them was Hunter Hastings. One of them is Cameron Craighead, Adam Young, Brian Hennings. The bottom, here comes Kyler Wynn. He'll have to settle for the middle. He's got his teammate Freddie Bassinez with him in that middle lane. They will challenge the leaders. Jared Haynes back to the help of teammate Kenny Reel up against the safer barrier. Now Basin up to the middle to Kyler Wynn. Fast, furious, constant action. Wynn hangs the left. Basin hung out against the safer barrier. He'll go backwards now to the help of Jeff Merck, who now leads the outside lane. It's Wynn the lead. Bassinez now to second with Falkingham third in line. On the inside, it's Seipel, then Osbernaut, then Anderson. Trying for the life of me to adjust my volumes as we go here. I know it's a little bit loud on the car end of things tonight. I'll adjust it as well if we get a break. And now Wynn and Bassinez clear the lead. They've got Falkingham, Merck, and Velicki in line as he goes forward to fifth now. Seipel trying to regroup that inside lane, but for some reason, whether it's temps or whether it's amount of helpers down there or the organization, they've just not been able to move that line very far forward. Off turn number 4, down towards the start-finish line. They come off the side draft. Osbernaut goes to the middle. Seipel can't block it. Now it's Osbernaut with Basin and Haynes in the middle. It's Seipel on the bottom with Anderson, Mike Davenport, Dusty Martin, and Adam Young. 7 laps up and down. Again, a longer race tonight. We're used to about 50 or 55. Tonight we're going 76. As the field works down through turn number 1, Wynn and Bassinez go back to the middle. That's going to allow Falkingham up. Bassinez throws the block of the safer barrier. Wynn hung out to dry. Here comes Freddie Bassinez, the Busch Light forward. Trouble out back. Nash Brambilla starting to get turned. They start to go sideways. Nash holds on to it. Hennings holds on to it. Everybody holds on to it. And in all that mess with that block by Bassinez, it checked up the outside line, allowed those Jack Shack cars to come forward on the bottom, and now it's Trevor Osbernaut back to the lead. Trevor Osbernaut, the 3-time PGR eSports Intimidator Superspeedway Series winner, looking to get win number 4 in the Gen 6 here tonight. Dylan Basin as well is there, so is Bassinez, Falkingham, Seipel, Merck, Wynn, Velicki, Craighead. The top 10. Kenny Reel breaks into the top 10. He'll go to the bottom as well. 4-car brigade on the bottom right now, led by Basin. Then it's Davenport, or excuse me, no, now it's Haynes, similar looking cars. Then Kyler Wynn, then Kenny Reel, then Jackson Anderson. Anderson splits through the middle. He's got Triscaro coming with him. Bit of a gap back to the second pack, led now by Hunter Hastings. That's back around that 17th position. They will quickly catch the lead pack and form back up into one. Trevor Osbernath continues to lead. Bassinet trying to go middle. Osbernath will throw the block. They'll sidetracked here in turn 3. Daniel Falkingham's been very aggressive about it. It allows Merck to get to the outside of Craighead, out back about 5th in line, though. Craighead hung in the middle. He'll wait on help from Adam Young as Dusty Martin. A couple of other cars come up to the outside. Tucker McClendon may have been one of them as well. Basin, Haynes, Wynn on the inside with Reel, Davenport, Triscaro, and Asher Little. Oh, trouble. Out back, Michael Triscaro's got a problem. The 34, not sure what happened there. Not sure if he's blowing up or what's going on, but Triscaro's got some kind of issue, and he is slow on the apron. Issues for Michael Triscaro. Let's see if it is an engine. Doesn't appear to sound like it's an engine. Not sure exactly what happened here to Michael Triscaro, but he is out of the draft. He is back up to speed, though, so some kind of unknown issue on Michael Triscaro's car. We'll keep an eye on the 34 back there deep in the pack away from the draft. We'll keep an eye on him throughout the course of tonight's race. Back up front, Trevor Osbernath pushed by Bassinet, continues to be the order on the outside lane. On the inside still, Seipel, Basin, Haynes, Reel, and Davenport. So not much change up front. The splitting has kind of stopped for now. A lot of guys, Kyler went on back, have really decided to halt their advances just a little, whether for safety or otherwise. Seipel going to get to the lead in front of Osbernath now. Field works down the back straightaway and off towards turn number 3. Seipel down to side draft on Basin. Osbernath is the helper now on the outside. Basin is the lead car on the bottom. He'll get to the top with the help of Jared Haynes now, and the shuffling continues. Jeff Merck out back, going to split Landon Velicki in the middle. Will he get any help? Dusty Martin trying to decide where to go. Tucker McClendon will pick up Velicki, and they'll both drop back to the bottom, I believe. Lap 10 complete. It is quick action, rapid fire at Talladega, 10 up and down already. Basin, Seipel, Osbernath on the outside. Haynes, Reel, Davenport, Craighead. Now the top 4 on the inside. How about Cameron Craighead so far? Really good start for the 48. Oh, man, big blink out of Haynes here. That's going to stop that bottom line in its tracks for just a moment. Osbernath pushing hard on that outside lane in the back bumper of Seipel. Osbernath catches the fence there on the back stretch. In the middle, here comes Kyler Wynn. He's got Chase Mastretta with him. He's got Daniel Eberhardt with him. To the middle. To the bottom goes Seipel. He goes all the way to the inside of Dylan Basin. He'll go to the lead now. Osbernath thought about following him. Will follow Basin instead. Those two known to work together just a little bit. Landon Velicki getting shuffled again out of line out back. He'll go all the way to the tail end of the field with no help. Top lane surges. Dylan Basin back to the lead. Lap 12 on the board. Kyler Wynn coming forward a little further back. Hunter Hastings in the middle, trying to get that middle lane working with Nash Brambilla in tow behind him. They've got one more car with them as well. It might be Quentin Steinbach in the 22. Down to side draft comes that outside line. Up around the outside goes Mastretta. He'll catch the right rear of Dusty Martin. Kyler Wynn going with him. And here comes the Budweiser Chevrolet to the front of the field for the first time here tonight. Started deep in the field. Back around that 35th position. He's plus 24. Cameron Craighead plus 26. We did get word on Michael Triscaro. His car turned off in the middle of that run. The ignition switch. I'm not sure what happened there, but his car turned off. And unfortunately, he lost the draft, so he will require caution. Dylan Basin gets split. Seipel to the inside. Osbernath on the outside. Basin, the worst feeling in super speedway racing. He's in the sucker hole. Going backwards. He'll get picked up by McClendon, but it'll be 8 rows deep in the field. Now McClendon jumps back in line. Basin will drop outside the top 15, maybe the top 20. No prisoners for these guys up front. Seipel bottom to top in front of Osbernath now. As the guys behind him jockey, Falkingham has been very aggressive with side drafting, trying to get to the middle. Inside now, Haynes, Reel, Davenport, Craighead, Adam Young on that bottom lane, so some more Jack Shack help coming to the front. Seipel continues to lead. Now Bassinet takes a look to the middle. Falkingham a lane lower. Bassinet's going to get to the left rear. Osbernath going to have a decision to make. Falkingham has to now squeeze in that middle line, helped by McClendon, Hastings, Velicki, and the 22 of Steinbach as Merck got to his right rear. Jeff Merck. No prisoners, no quarter for Merck right now. Bassinet to the middle, inside of Osbernath. He'll get into the nose of Daniel Falkingham, the defending winner of the SummerSlam 499. Falkingham's going to get turned. Davenport's in the wall. Jeff Merck trying to save it. Trouble. Around goes Jackson Anderson. Big hit from Mike Davenport. And the big one strikes in the entrance of turn number 1. They're still crashing. Hunter Hastings, Quentin Steinbach both get it turned back around, but cars lay in a heap of metal back here in the entrance of turn number 1. It started a little bit further up in the field, back up around the 8th position, with Jeff Merck and a couple of others. Anderson, the first one I saw get around. Actually, it's Jared Haynes. That's the first car that gets sideways. And I think Haynes was able to save this, judging on live timing and scoring. So let's go to Mike Davenport here. Figure out what happens to the 55. Big hits here for the 55. So let's go back. Let's take a look at what sparked this one. Let's go up top, high above this racetrack, and see where this one begins. It's going to be up on the outside lane. That blue, yellow, and black Chevrolet of Jeff Merck, I think, is the first car to have an ailment here in turn number 1. You see Seipel up ahead, switches lanes. That outside has to check up to pick up Osborne. Oh, actually, no, it's below them. With Daniel Falkingham catching some contact, he gets into Freddie Bassines. They get into Jared Haynes. Oh, my goodness, big left rear net code on Merck. McClendon gets into Real. Hastings bounces off of everybody, and then eventually, as the stack-up gets further back, it's Hastings into the 88 of Anderson. You see McClendon bounce off the safer barrier. He's going to get collected by Chase Mastretta. Chris Carter's involved, that silver Chevrolet. There's the hit for Davenport that blows the front clip off that race car. There you see Steinbach. You see Anderson, Mastretta, McClendon, Carter. Has anybody hit Jackson Anderson back here? Dusty Martin, holy cow, I'm not sure how he missed that. Nash Brambilla threw it as well. Brian Hennings dives to the grass. Stephen Miles, Malik Ray, David Flanagan. Looks like everybody out back managed to get by this one. Take a couple more looks. One more look here on this on the replay, and then we'll go back to an onboard shot as well before we get back to live action. This starts up ahead by Jared Haynes. I'm just not 100% sure what our best bet's going to be for an angle to catch this. Might be this one here. Let's see if this one. Watch Jared Haynes, Daniel Falkingham, Tucker McClendon right there in the middle of the racetrack. It's the cars second and third in the middle, first and second on the inside with Haynes and Real. And that's kind of where this one gets started, I think. It might be netcode between all of them. We're actually going to get a really good look at it. Oh, yeah, it is. It's left for a netcode between Osborne, Bassines, Merck, and Falkingham. Falkingham gets Haynes. There's that, man, that is egregious netcode between Falkingham and Merck. And it's guys just start bouncing off each other. You're trying to find a way through. There's no room. You're running out of space. And Hastings and Anderson come together. They get McClendon out of shape. He's going to get Mastretta. I'm not sure how much damage either of those cars have. There's Chris Carter getting collected by Hastings. Oh, my goodness. What a hit for Mike Davenport. Then he gets hit by Craighead. 8, 9 cars involved in this one, and really most of them were running inside the top 15 when this wreck happened. Quentin Steinbach there, you see him up ahead. Oh, my goodness. Brian Hennings. I don't know how he got by that one either. You see Brambilla's drifting. Oh, does Dusty Martin get a piece of this, or does he escape to the outside? He may have gotten a tad bit, but not much. May have escaped without much in terms of damage. So let's go to one onboard, and then we'll go back to live action after our first caution flag of the night. It's going to be from the 11 of Dylan Basin. He was about 5th on the outside when this started. Let's back it up a little bit further so I can kind of get us set here. Let's get to the onboard camera for Dylan Basin in the 11. He was about 5th in line. Managed to find a way through it. You're on board with the Toyota, the number 11 of Dylan Basin. Whew. Did not miss that one by much as McClendon came back across the racetrack. Basin able to miss it. We'll go to one more, actually, before we go back green, because I wanted to see this one, too. On board quickly with Brian Hennings as this one gets underway. Calamity Corner at Talladega, turn 1 so far in this race. We go back up front, and it is 1 to go. The lights are out atop the iRacing.com pace car. And that means we are ready to get back underway from Talladega Superspeedway. Lap 18 will be on the board. That means 59 laps to go in this one. New leader up front. He's leading the inside lane. Not sure if Seipel's the leader, but I think it is the red and black snap-on Ford Mustang of Kevin Jaden, making his first ever PGR start in tonight's race. Now sits at the front of a pack of hungry race cars. What a way to get introduced to the money racing scene if this is indeed his first start in money racing. Some of the best on his bumper for what should be an electric restart. That was a fun first 17 laps of racing. We'll see if we can get into another run here on this second run of this race. It'll be Nick Seipel to his outside on row 1. Row 2, Freddie Bassinez and Ed Busch Light Ford and Trevor Osmond. Row 3, Jeff Merton, Kenny Reel. Row 4, Dylan Basin, Adam Young. Row 5, Landon Velicki and Jared Haynes. Although for some reason, Velicki's not coming up 11th, but he is 9th here on the inside of row 5. It's actually, I'm not sure why we're 3 wide up front. That was weird. So several cars likely out now or have damage that will ail them the rest of the night. I can tell you Paul Turner and Joe Huerta did not make the grid. Chris Carter's night is over. Mike Davenport multiple laps down on pit road. Same with Dylan Jones. Jackson Anderson's on the racetrack 2 laps down. Tucker McClendon 2 laps down also on pit road. Back in the restart zone, green flag back in the air, and it's the rookie Kevin Jaden that brings the field back into the United Rentals restart zone, and away we go. He does not get up through the gears quickly, and that'll allow Nick Seipel to lead. And how long now do you have patience with the new driver up front? If you're Freddie Bassinez, Jeff Merck, Dylan Basin, etc., how patient are you here before you try to split him in the middle? I can't imagine they're going to wait very long because they're going backwards, and all their help behind them is Bailey. Seipel continues to be the leader. Osborne second, Reel through to third, Adam Young through to fourth, so Jack Shack well represented here at the front of the field. And their teammate Jared Haynes is up there 5th. Oh man, Jaden trying to take the push from Bassinez. He is all over the place in that 65, but they're making a little bit of headway here as Jaden tries to lead that bottom lane. Bassinez an aggressive pusher. How long again? Will they be patient with him? I don't know, because again, now they're going backwards again. I can't imagine that Freddie will be the most patient guy in the world right now. Past the start-finish line, 19 on the board. The first 5 cars are clear in the outside lane. Back to Jared Haynes. A couple more bail. Basin bails to the middle. Merck bails to the outside. Bassinez trying to bail as well. They're trying to get up and around Kevin Jaden. Car that might try to push him, I thought, was Michael Guest. He will not. Michael Guest will go to the middle. Hunter Hastings goes to the middle. A couple other cars. Big move up front. It's the Jack Shack cars. Osborne out to the bottom. Velicki trying to bully his way to the bottom. So is Merck out back. They make contact, do Merck and Guest, but everybody keeps it straight as they race 3 wide back towards the back end of the field. But up front, it's the 4 Jack Shack cars here at the front. Osborne, Reel, Young, and Haynes that made that big move. Landon Velicki comes all the way through to 5th. Merck and Basin made a big move all the way to the safer barrier out back. It's wild scrambles, big-time haymakers thrown here at Talladega. Merck and Basin to the bottom. Brian Hennings now up to fit that bright green and yellow VRX Simulators Chevrolet for Team PGR. The big move to the bottom for Merck gets him all the way to 3rd, maybe into 2nd, but they don't have any more help. Here comes the cavalry. Velicki, Seipel, Bassinez, Miles, Ray. First time those 2 cars have ventured towards the front of this field tonight, but it's all Trevor Osborne up top. In the lead right now. Guest to the middle in front of Brambilla. They bring Dusty Martin and Michael Triscaro, who caught a break with that caution. Kyler Wynn is up there as well. He'll pick up Michael Guest here in turns 3 and 4. Off turn 4, coming back to the start-finish line. Lap 21 will be on the board. It's Jack Shack top 4 in the outside. On the bottom, though, it's the bigger push. Here comes Jeff Merck in the Blue Angels Chevy to the point for the first time tonight at Talladega. 56 laps to go on the push from Dylan Basin. Oh, Nick Seipel got out of shape. The pink car, Nick Seipel's around. And he went all the way to the back. No caution, we stay green. He'll bring it back on track. Only 1 car, we go back up front. Tough break for Seipel. He'll now need a caution. Off turn 2, it's all Jack Shack up front. First 4 cars on the outside. Inside still Merck, Basin, Velicki, then Guest. In the middle, here comes Kyler Wynn with Freddie Bassinez and Michael Triscaro. Osborne trying to give a little bit of temperatures here to Kenny Reel and go back up to him on the wall, but the run is going to be too big. Here comes Kyler Wynn in the middle. Reel trying to get reset. Merck got up around Basin as well. He's in 3rd in that middle lane. Big surge. Wynn to the lead. Bassinez to 2nd. They'll go right back to the safer barrier as they cross by lap 22. 55 laps to go at Talladega. Merck loses his help for the moment as his help jumps out and around him. Now Michael Triscaro's in that middle lane. Hunter Hastings in that middle lane with Dusty Martin. Merck bails to the bottom with Triscaro as Basin is now relegated to third in line. Malik Ray, all of a sudden, P8 on the outside getting around Jeff Merck. He started at the back, towards the back, ran towards the back, now is up in line 8th. On that outside lane, Veliky back to the bottom, could not find a spot. Hennings goes to the bottom. Does he have any help go with him? No, those Jack Shack cars stay pinned. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th on the outside. Dylan Basin relegated all the way back to about 15th or 18th position. Out of that whole mess. The outside now has cleared 5, 6, 7, 8. Make it 10 cars back, or 9 cars, excuse me, back to Hastings. Make it 10 back to Eberhardt now in 10th. They're single file. First double file battle will be Basin and Falkingham for the 11th position. All of a sudden, now we're logging laps. Basin, oh man. Guest tried to get up. Dusty Martin said no, sir. Guest has some help from Stephen Miles in that Exalta car, but that help's going to evaporate. Those two now going backwards. They'll split. Guest to the bottom. He'll grab Falkingham. Miles went up top. And the bottom lane has started to stack up again. It's Falkingham, Guest, Basin, Hennings, Veliky, Brambilla, and Corbett on the inside. Sean Corbett, that is. Malik Ray sees it coming, drops down on the nose of Falkingham. Here comes the bottom lane. No rest for the wicked up here at the front as Malik Ray now leads that inside lane in the 7th position. And they are going to have a huge run here. No attempt to side draft from that outside lane. They'll have unchecked speed here on the inside of turn 1. They'll get up to Adam Young. They may get to Kenny Reel by the time they work onto the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Ozernoth saw it coming, but they couldn't get down there quick enough. Now they'll side draft, though. It will not be enough. Big, huge, monster run down the back straightaway, and all the way to the lead goes Malik Ray. Ozernoth splits. He goes with Reel. The Jack Shack cars get up and around Kyler Wynn, and now those two, Wynn and Bassinet, stuck in the sucker hole. Guest, Hennings trying to work around the outside. They thought about it. Landon Veliky's thinking about it. He goes to the middle with the help of Kyler Wynn. Blinks out in the middle. Big blink for Veliky. He'll probably have to relegate back to that bottom lane and regain his momentum. At the line, Ray, Falkingham, Guest, Hennings, Veliky, your top 5. Nash Brambilla is 6th. It's 3 wide from him on back. 6 rows deep in the field. You got to be careful. This front 5 will drive away. They got to get it sorted out if you're 6th on back. That middle lane starts to evaporate, and that should allow that second, well, not really a second pack, but that second group to catch up. Brambilla jumps out of line, going to go all the way to, I thought he was going to go to Ozernoth. He goes to Bassinet instead. That leaves a big gaping hole from Veliky back to Corbett. Veliky will go backwards into that gap as Brambilla looks up on the nose of Ozernoth. Almost some more net code back there around the 89, the 23, but they get it sorted out. Man, Ozernoth, this is a tight side draft off turn 4, trying to keep that middle line there. He will not be able to. Bassinet leads it with Wynn. And then Basin, Hastings, and Triscaro, the 5 cars, trying to shoot the gap through the middle. One car coming off pit road, that's Kevin Jaden. He'll relegate to the apron. Front 4 still unchecked. Ray, Falkingham, Guest, Hennings. Hennings sees the run coming, goes up on the nose of Bassinet. Does Bassinet go a lane higher? Nope, going to relegate to push. The Brian Hennings machine, and now Hennings leads an outside train that's got to run. They're going to try to drag the Jack Shack cars. Ozernoth goes to the middle, or goes to the top around Wynn. They're going to split through Bassinet as well. Ozernoth goes top to middle to push Bassinet here in turn 3, and will go right back to the top with the help of Hennings. Juking and jiving back there around 8th position. Meanwhile, up front, pretty well unchecked, but not for long. Basin goes to the outside of Bassinet. Big run for the 11, 3 wide for the lead in the tri-oval. 50 laps to go. Bassinet on the outside, or Bassinet in the middle. Basin on the outside and Ray on the inside. The lead still unchecked, but 3 wide. Make it 7, make it 8 rows deep. Basin, big run. Not going to be able to block it is Malik Ray. He'll have to let Dylan Basin go by. No fast repair probably contributes to that. Oh, man, the 2 cars up front got a little bit. Oh, trouble. The big one strikes right in the middle of the field. Kenny Reel goes around. Eberhardt, Corbett, Adam Young, David Flanagan collected, and others, and the caution flag comes out on lap number 27. And that one sparked when Kenny Reel got in the outside wall after Ozernoth and Dylan Basin got offset there in the middle of the back straightaway. We'll take a couple looks at it, but a couple Jack Shack cars, 3 of them actually involved in this one. Reel, Young, and Flanagan. The other car, Kyler Wynn got a piece of that. Sean Corbett got a piece of that. Let's go back and take a look as they worked their way down the Alabama Gang super stretch. So we can get to this angle. This is the one I was looking for. So you're going to see this move up ahead of them as Basin and Osronoff try to get set. Oh, it's an offset push before that. So you see Osronoff gives them a bad push and actually gives them a second bad push, and that gets them way offset. Osronoff gets into his right rear. That puts the 89 in the wall. And as these guys start to check up, Kenny Reel stabs his brakes. Does he get help here? He gets a little bit of help from behind, and then when he hits the back of Hennings, they both go into the outside wall. And nowhere for Adam Young to go. He's on the brakes, but nothing he can do. He turns Reel sideways, gets into Jeff Merck, into Michael Guest. Eberhardt collected by Landon Velicki. There's Corbett. But really, other than that, that should have been a lot bigger than it was. This should have been 10 or 12 cars, and when Kenny Reel got turned, I thought it was going to be. It really ends up only being about 6, and only about 4 with decent damage, that being Reel, Flanagan, Corbett, and Adam Young. Merck, Guest, Eberhardt, a couple of others are involved, but I don't think their damage is very bad. Go up top, take a couple more looks at this one before we go back green. Kind of saw this coming, the way they were racing up front. It had kind of gotten a little bit antsy up front, a little bit more daring, and right there you see that offset push, and that outside is all kinds of out of whack back behind Trevor Osronoff. And it stacks up. And again, you see it in slow-mo and you think, oh man, Adam Young, you got to be on the brakes. It's happening a lot faster than I'm showing it right here. This is, I want to say like quarter speed. So, I mean, again, this is happening very fast. They're all going 200 miles an hour. You don't have much time. Nothing Adam Young can do when that stack-up starts. But really, actually, and in fact, I mean, Corbett slaps the inside wall. Really the only... I mean, that's a decent hit for Flanagan there, but as long as he doesn't pound the inside wall, he kind of hits it flush. We'll see the damage on Flanagan's car. We're going to go on board with Kenny McCullough here in a second, too. But really, the only major damage is going to be Corbett and probably Kenny Reel. Everybody else, with the exception of maybe Flanagan, I think is going to be okay. We'll see what the damage looks like here in just a moment. Let's go on board with Kenny McCullough. He had probably a front row seat to this. Running back towards the tail end of the field. Let's go on board with the captain for McCullough Motorsports, Kenny McCullough. Let's see what he saw through this, because he had to weave through the tail end of the wreckage here on the back straightaway. In fact, he's right behind David Flanagan, who ends up involved. You're on board with Team Boss over at McCullough Motorsports, Kenny McCullough. Kind of parts the seas, gets through it. Manages to navigate that wreck to the best of his ability. We go back up front. Lap 29 of 76 on the board. We'll go green on lap 31, giving us 46 laps to go. See Landon Velicki dive to pit road. Tucker McClendon, tail end of the lead lap. He'll get a lap back here. Actually, he's multiple laps down. Apologies. So he'll get one of those laps back on the tail end of the lead lap. See Jackson Anderson getting a lap back as well. He's now down to only one down, I believe. Still very much in this race. Trevor Osronoff is your leader. Hunter Hastings second. Brian Hennings third. Daniel Falkenham fourth. Freddie Bassinez fifth. With Jeff Merck, Jared Haynes, Dylan Basin, Michael Triscaro, and Stephen Miles. The remainder of the top 10. Osronoff will elect for the top lane in front of Daniel Falkenham. And a little bit of confusion getting in line. This has been a fun one so far. Thanks for joining me. I know it's fast and furious here in the commentary, but trying to keep up with every move as it happens. Glad you joined us on a one-off Wednesday night. Remember to like the stream, share the link. In the preparation for the SummerSlam 499, hit that subscribe button. All of the upcoming events for the end of the month SummerSlam 499 will be held right here on this channel. So you don't want to miss a thing. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. You can get notified when we go live for our broadcasts. Thank you everybody that's using the chat. I know I haven't really been looking at it. It's been too much going on. Buster Malcolm in chat, Carl Haynes in chat. Saying now this is racing. This has been a lot of fun, I'll tell you that much. This car, by the way, is still on the table as an option for the SummerSlam 499. And, I mean, how fun would that be? It's got Infinite Frost in the chat as well. That's who I got the, the notice from that Michael Triscaro's car had shut off, so appreciate that information. Matt Hayden in the chat. Matt, one of the drivers in the Challenger Cup Series that ran last night. If you missed that one in Atlanta, go watch it. The replay's on our channel. It was a banger. I called that one as well. Really fun racing last night in the Next Gens at Atlanta. As we open that season, I'll be there every Tuesday. Come check us out on PGR eSports. Dylan Bateson was in the chat for a moment. So is Heath Job. Only one OG pink car. That's Danny Barnes. Shout out Danny Barnes on a Wednesday night. Red Bull Camaro. No, these are not new cameras. These are the ones I've always used. I'm not sure if I'm just using a different angle tonight or what, but I do appreciate the love. Love this camera pack. It's great. And quickly before we go back green, $5 super chat. Joe Seipel. Appreciate it. Obviously, for number 75, Nick Seipel, who I believe got his lap back after the spin he had earlier in the race. And he did. He's back in 14th. Green flag back in the air with 46 laps to go at Talladega Superspeedway. It's Trevor Osmernoff leading on the nose of Daniel Falkingham. They're followed quickly by Merck and Basin on the inside. Hunter Hastings, how about that? Look at that bright green look on that. I'm not sure how to describe the sponsor on that car. We'll maybe show it to you here in a minute. He's followed by Hennings, Basinez, Haynes, and Michael Triscaro, who again caught a break earlier with the first caution. Oh man, they are really stacking up out there around Stephen Miles. Basin goes to the middle. No help for him though. Guest, Ray, Veliky trying to come to the front. And it's a big split back there to Kenny Reel in the 17th position. Top 16 cars driving away just a bit. Through turns 3 and 4 back down to the front straightaway. These guys may calm down. They may not. We'll have to wait and see. I can't anticipate they're going to be too calm here at the front of the field. They're not. Here comes Miles with Kyler Wynn, and there you go, Nick Seipel in that pink car on the outside. Osmernoff throws a big block. Man, Miles had to hit him really hard there, but Osmernoff keeps the lead. He's been really good in this car recently and manages to keep the lead right there as well. Another big push. Win to Miles. Osmernoff not going to be able to block that one. Bassin has thought about going middle and now hung in the sucker hole is Trevor Osmernoff for the Jack Shack. On the inside, new leader, Hunter Hastings. In the 69 machine on the inside, he'll go to the race lead. Brian Hennings and Freddie Bassinez behind him. Triscaro took a peek out of line. Hastings will lead for all of about 1,000 feet. The leader again, it's Stephen Miles, the Light Series champion. It goes to the front of the push from Kyler Wynn. These guys up front, I thought they were going to calm down. They are not going to calm down. Second pack trying to run them down as Osmernoff loses the draft. But second pack trying to run them down. That group is led by Chase Mastretta and a couple of other cars as well. Dylan Jones may be in that group as well. I think that's the all-white car at the front. Up front, mostly single file now, top 8 single file, but back around some cars towards the tail end of this group. They start to jockey a little bit. That's back around Hunter Hastings. That's all the way back in 10th position, but now they'll single out on the bottom for the most part. Second pack well within draft. We will have a larger pack of what looks to be around, I would say 26 cars, all the way back to David Flanagan in 26th is where that draft ends. But single file first, now 7 back to Triscaro, making 6 back to Triscaro as Falkingham jumps out of line. Bassinez will go with him. Falkingham hung in the middle. Bassinez going to try to get relocked on that back bumper. He will. And they'll start to come back to the front. Miles, Wynn, Seipel, Guest, and Ray, your top 5. Some serious PGR pedigree here towards the front of the field. Seipel jumps up. He goes to the help of Daniel Falkingham in the outside lane. 43 laps to go. Veliky into the back of Hastings. Huge save by Hunter Hastings. That was unreal. They get stacked up back around Osmernoff. I believe that's Osmernoff, Veliky, and Basin as that second pack got back to the leaders. That was almost a huge moment. Hastings with one of the saves of the year. Miles goes up to the help of Seipel. It leaves Wynn on the inside with Guest. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 like rush hour traffic at 200 miles an hour. 10, 12 rows deep in the field. This lead draft goes all the way back to Dusty Martin. Look at Jeff Merck trying to shoot the middle. Basin and Osmernoff go high with Adam Young. The Jack Shack trying to get back to the front. 3 cars on an outside lane. Couple more on the inside lane. Trying to work back up front. Merck goes up in front of Basin. Veliky all by his lonesome in the middle. Now trying to fill that gap left by the 60. But no help behind him is not going to be much in terms of benefit. Oh, man, Merck almost got turned by Basin. Throws it right back on his nose. Can't imagine Basin's going to be too happy about that. On the inside, though, still Miles. On the outside, still Seipel. Wynn gets almost cleared a second. I thought he was going to there. He did not. Still relegated to pusher on Stephen Miles. Miles goes up now onto the push of Nick Seipel. This is going to be a big run here for Seipel. They're going to have to be disciplined here with this push, but Seipel, one of the best in the business at this car, gets into the back of Miles cleanly. Sorry about that, and they connect. At the front of the field now, they tandem away just a little bit. This is not great because they're going to get separated and they're going to get caught. Falkingham, Merck on the outside, Bassinez through the middle with Basin, Osborne, then Young, those Jack Shack cars working their way back forward. Wynn kind of in no man's land on the inside. Guest not close enough to push him, but he's not close enough to go up to either of the other lines. He'll move to the middle. Will not go all the way to the wall because Falkingham's got to run. He can't block. Bassinet's going to have a better push for him anyway here down the Alabama Gang super stretch. And down towards 3. Does Wynn make a move? Nope, hangs in line. All the first 4 hung in the middle. Now they go down to the bottom, making the top 6 go down to the bottom. Miles gets hung out. Seipel to the inside, turns left with the help of Wynn, and now it's Nick Seipel out front. Oh, Falkingham, a checkup in the middle. Got way loose on the push from Merck. They all keep it straight. Veliky and Craighead tried the outside. Did not work for him. Back down through the trial with 40 laps to go, almost halfway home. 2 laps from halfway here at Talladega in this incredible Gen-6 race here on Wednesday night. Seipel on the inside, Miles on the outside. About 8 to 9 rows of 2 wide. Then it's single file on back. See Everhart, Reel, some other cars back there towards the tail end of this lead pack that are just wanting to be a little patient with still 40 laps to go and some pit stops in play. Miles back to the lead on Bassinez push. They'll split here in turn 3. Miles on the inside leads for a moment, but now it's Bassinez out front for the first time. Bassinez back to the top on Falkingham. Miles and Seipel trying to get connected. Triscaro hangs a right. He goes to the outside lane. Merck and Falkingham turn left on Bassinez. They both go around him. It's the NBG duo. Now we'll go to 1-2. It's the defending winner of the SummerSlam 499, the defending PGR champion, the defending PGR 500 champion. One of the winningest men in PGR today, it's Daniel Falkingham, the driver for 6 Karma eSports in the Coca-Cola iRacing Series. He'll go to the point, trying to capture another PGR victory and prep himself for his defense of the SummerSlam 499. Will not be without opposition. To the middle goes Seipel. Bassinez goes with him. Can't really decide where to go. Miles gets hung out against the wall. They'll have Veliky, Craighead, and Hennings coming for him. As Falkingham and Merck lost all their help, it's Kyler Wynn to the point on the inside lane. He's got a couple cars behind him. I believe they'll be working together here. It's Dylan Basin in the 11, Trevor Osborne in the 89. Malik Ray goes to the outside of Jeff Merck. He'll bring Seipel with him. Malik Ray to the outside safer barrier. They're going to try to run to the front as Falkingham is all alone in the middle. His teammate not going to get there. Now Malik Ray drops down in front of Merck. Big hit there from the 60. It was offset, but they managed to make it, to keep it straight. Ray will get to Falkingham. Does he push him? He will for now. Now he doesn't. He goes out to the outside with Seipel, and that outside lane is going to have a huge push. Wynn and Basin are in no man's land here. They're going to get caught car in the wall. Veliky, Craighead, Bassinez. They try not to wreck Freddie Bassinez. Are you kidding me? I don't know how in the world he saved that car, but he did, and we keep it straight. To the outside, another split. Here comes Ray. He's got Seipel. They'll get Falkingham, Merck, and Osborne to go with them as Basin gets hung out. It's Malik Ray back to the lead. Big move by Triscaro out back, throws it on the nose of Miles. Those 3 have a run, and Miles splits into the middle. Ray, Seipel, Falkingham, Merck on the outside. Inside, Wynn, Guest, Haynes, and I think the lap car of Dylan Jones. It is the 32 of Dylan Jones, who is laps down, but still could play a factor in the finish if it keeps up. Off the back straightaway, 37 laps to go. Next time by 36. We're past halfway. Now we start to look at the fuel calculator, but these guys up front are racing so hard, I'm not sure they'll care. Although I will say a lot of them have migrated to the bottom of the racetrack. You got to think perhaps we have a pit window coming up. Seipel back up in front of Falkingham. Huge move. They make work. Triscaro goes to the wall. Gets blocked up there by Merck. Bassinez goes with him. 4 wide through the 3rd lane comes Bassinez. Freddie Bassinez making big moves out back right around that 10th position. Triscaro has more help, though, with Hennings. It's PGR teammate and Landon Veliky. They'll now get Trevor Osborne and Daniel Everhart, Kenny Reel behind them as well. So a big, pretty formidable group forming back there halfway through the lead pack. Up front, though, still Seipel and Ray battle for the race lead. Where does Triscaro go? They're going to have a monster run. They're going to shoot through the middle. Here comes the Barks Chevrolet. It is Michael Triscaro. He'll get blocked by Falkingham. He turns right, crosses back over. He'll not have much help up there. It's just Jeff Merck as Falkingham left his NBG teammate. And now Triscaro hung out against the safer barrier with Merck. As those two go backwards, Falkingham stays up front. It's Landon Veliky pushing him now. Hennings goes around. Veliky has to get back in line. Hunter Hastings with them. So is Trevor Osborne. Second pack has lost the draft, by the way. Cameron, Craighead, they are outside draft range right now, but they're trying to get it back. It's Craighead Little, Mistretta, Green, McCullough, Brambilla, and Dusty Martin. That's all the way back to 25th. Up front with these guys racing, that's going to help those cars out back get back in draft range as these guys go haywire on each other. Falkingham runs it all the way to the wall, may have touched the walls. He gets around Seipel. He'll go back to the lead. Not for long. Here comes Ray with the help of Wynn on the inside. Oh, car in the wall big time. It's Jeff Merck as he bounces off the safer barrier. That's going to lose the draft for him. Second group, I can't imagine. It's going to sit 4 wide back around Oswernot and Veliky and Bassinez. As they try to sort that out, they will. And it is all over the place here at Talladega. 35 coming to 34 to go. That second pack's loving this. That group back there now led by Asher Little. They are loving that these guys are racing like crazy up front because it means that they can catch a draft off one of these packs and all get back together. This is incredible stuff at Talladega Superspeedway. If you like what you're seeing, boy, part of me hopes this is the car for August 2nd and August 3rd, which is the SummerSlam 499. This will be electric. Up front, they single out. That's not going to help that group back there with Craighead and company, other than the fact that they're all kind of split. Now they're going to snake up to the outside retaining wall. Oh, almost trouble. Back around Austin Green. And this is not what this group needs. They're going to start to lose time on that pack in front of them. They need to get lined up. They're trying to. And they're going to be out of draft range of the group in front of them with Hunter Hastings. If they don't start pushing right now, it's going to be very close. They're trying. They just cannot get square. Kevin Jaden goes a lap down against the wall, and now it is singled out all the way back to Bassinez and Oswernot, who were the first two that jump out of the line. Goodness. I mean, this is incredible. I've barely even been able to take a breath. Bassinez and Oswernot to the outside. They'll bring Triscaro and Miles with them on that outside lane as the field appears to start to get ready for pit stops. That's what it looks like to me. Asher Little and company, by the way, have caught the tail end of that draft. They're just barely sniffing the draft. They might be able to get back. It's going to be close, though. But those guys start to race. Almost trouble back there around Kenny McCullough. That group is almost sideways, and the caution flag is out. Oh, man, crash. Around goes Dusty Martin in the 35. And again, lucky for him, I don't think he got much damage here. So he'll be able to continue. The Shady Brook Chevrolet, but this was a caution before this happened. And I think that it may have been the 65 of Kevin Jaden. Oh, boy. I'm not even sure how this happened back here. Jaden had come off pit road. This group back behind him had started a switch. You see, Austin Green got out of line. He was hot. They wanted to switch to a fresh pusher. I almost would have stayed in line, but they're going to come up on Jaden here. And Asher Little, as the leader of this line, you kind of designate where the line's going to go in a case like this. And in this case, it's a very simple call out on the radio. It's 3, 2, 1, up, and then back down. And I wonder, is Asher going to go a little late, or is Jaden a little unpredictable? It's a little bit of a late move by Little. And Jaden, he panics. He works up the racetrack as well, so they kind of all hit. It's panic. Maybe it's bad communication as well. And I don't have driver radio. I know Landon does. I don't, so I can't hear what the communication is like on that. But if you're Little, either one of these cars, either Jaden or Little, just designate where each group is going to go. So, and he collects Dusty Martin right there too. But again, it's just one hit for Martin, so I think the 35 should be okay. But if you're Jaden or if you're Little there, it's got to be one of the two. And usually the onus is on the lap car. Unless in the case that it's kind of like this, where it's a line of cars at a super speedway, it's kind of like, man, if you're Asher Little, like, call it out. Not only to the guys behind him, but also to Kevin Jaden, like, hey, we're going to work around the outside of here, or hey, can you go to the wall? We're going to stay on the inside here. I'm not sure what the communication was like, but it sure seems like there was some kind of lapse in communication between these cars that caused this to happen. Maybe Jaden also panicking just a little bit. Again, and I know people are going to say, well, what's he doing? It's his first race. He's trying to work. He's trying to just get out of the way, and these guys start to go high, but then they split. I think the key factor, and he's going to collect, there you see him collect Dusty Martin. I think the key factor in this, in terms of Jaden, is that these cars split behind him. They didn't all work up together. You see Little make a I don't think it's very late, but it is certainly a little bit late. Watch how late this is for Asher Little. And McCullough really has nowhere to go. I'm not sure if he sees this 65 car by the time. I mean, he has about 2.5 seconds. And he actually, credit to McCullough, lifts. But he's getting pushed from out back as well. Just not much he can do. And then Jaden going to come down and collect Dusty Martin as well. We'll go back live. Seems to me a communications issue there. Some kind of mishap on the part of all parties involved. Somebody needs to say something there. No matter who it is, really, I think the onus is on Asher Little in the pack behind Kevin Jaden to be like, okay, hey, let's all work up to the outside, or hey, I'll ask this guy to go to the wall. Like, hey, move up, get to the outside. And usually that happens, to the credit of the drivers in here. Usually there is a call, either by the lap car, hey, I'm going to stay against the wall, or hey, I'm going to stay bottom, or hey, I'm going to go to the apron, or by the pack, like, hey, can you go to the wall? Hey, can you get to the apron? Usually the communication is pretty good. It seems to me a lapse in that communication right there. So really no harm, no foul, other than the caution coming out. That's the biggest kind of lingering issue for most of the guys in the field, is that the caution flag came out. Not necessarily damage to any race cars. I don't think Jaden or Dusty Martin have any significant damage. So lucky on one hand, but obviously drivers up front would have liked to see this race stay green. And with 30 laps to go, unfortunately, not going to be the case. Nick Seipel leads under this, the third caution of the night. It's been really good racing, despite a couple of incidents. Been really good racing. Seipel is the leader. Freddie Bassin is second. Kyler Wynn third. Malik Ray fourth. Brian Hennings fifth. Or excuse me, actually going to be Stephen Miles fifth. Brian Hennings sixth. Michael Triscaro, still searching for that elusive PGR win. Knock on wood if you have some next to you, now that I said that. He'll roll from seventh. Jared Haynes eighth. Daniel Falkingham ninth. Hunter Hastings in 10th. A lot of cars on pit road a second time to top off fuel. We may be very close to the window. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I think we're getting close to the number. So a lot of cars coming back to take more fuel as we get close to the end of this race. Shout out some more drivers in the chat. Heath Job in the chat. Good to see a Dusty Martin, one of the three amigos. I didn't think about that. It is pretty funny for the 35 Dusty Martin. Stephen Luttrell, last night's winner in the Challenger Cup Series. Shout out Stephen Luttrell if he's still in the chat. Won at Atlanta last night, the season opener. Danny Barnes, as soon as I shout him out, he shows up. It's like he heard me talking to him or something. Danny, good to see you. Mine of a 500 as well. And okay, I will say I was not trying to slander Asher Little. It's a mistake. We all do it. I've done it before. You just have to communicate not only to the guy in front of you you're trying to pass, but the guys behind you is almost more important, so you're all on the same page. I don't think that pack was all on the same page right there. And it also doesn't help they had just gone through a switch of pushers there in turn number 2. 29 laps to go at Talladega. Field back into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Strap the belts tight. You might not get another chance. Take one more deep breath. Again, this race might go green all the way to the end. We'll see. Better restart is up top. It's Bassinez, Ray, Hennings, Haynes, and Hastings out back. Jeff Merck, the first to go 3 wide, but gets no help. Veliky dives back to the middle, and Merck is hung out by himself. Dusty Martin will follow that group in the middle lane. Quentin Steinbach, Daniel Eberhardt, Jackson Anderson further out back. So is Chase Mastretta trying to make moves to the front, but up front, it is all that Busch Light Mustang of Freddie Bassinez, pushed by Malik Ray. They'll go to the bottom here in turn 3, kind of unorthodox for what we've seen tonight. Hennings gets clear with them, so does Haynes. That leaves Hastings to lead that outside lane with Osbornoff, Asher Little, Jeff Merck, and Michael Guest. Now Craighead jumps up there as well. I believe Jackson Anderson did get his lap back right there. He should be back in the lead lap. He is not. He's still 1 lap down, but he's the first car 1 lap down. First 4 driving away back to Jared Haynes. 28 laps to go. Merck again around the outside. Again going to get hung out, this time by Asher Little. Front 4 driving away by 6 car lengths on the rest of the field. Now as that field starts to single back out, they'll catch them. But the first 4 drive away for the moment. It's Hastings and Seipel that are nose to tail here down the back straightaway, headed for 3. Then Wynn and Miles nose to tail behind them. The rest of the field is losing the draft. They need to get singled out. They just cannot get it sorted. From Ostronaut on back, now they're going to go 3 wide. That is worst case scenario. It was for a moment. Now Triscaro pokes his nose into the clean air, and all of a sudden here comes that second group. At the line, 27 laps to go. Still all Freddie Bassinez up front, top 8, single file back to Stephen Miles, make it top 10, make it top 12, make it top 13, back to Asher Little. Some guys up front that don't have PGR wins. Brian Hennings comes to mind. Hunter Hastings comes to mind. I'm not positive about Bassinez or Seipel either. I think Stephen Miles finally got his first win, if I remember correctly. Michael Triscaro does not. Landon Velicki doesn't have a broadcasted win yet. He does have a win, but it was not broadcasted. Now the front, man, for the most part now, it's about the top 18 cars back to Daniel Eberhardt. Make it 20 are single file in a PGR race. They're logging laps. Never thought I'd see the day. 26 laps to go. This is probably for fuel-saving purposes here as we get into the later stages of this race, and now mileage becomes an issue. Guys trying to save, trying to get that little bit extra fuel for the end of the race so that they can go race and not run out or have to pit, and also so they can conserve some for overtime attempt, or only overtime attempt as well. Finally get an opportunity to not only take a breath, but take a drink as well. It has been really, really constant action. It's been incredible racing, by the way. If you're just joining us, you have missed a really, really good race. In a car that, by the way, we had our uncertainty with in terms of how good a product it would put on. Not that the racing's not good, but how many cautions we would have. The other night in the recruitment race, it was a bit of a slog. Tonight has been a complete 180. I mean, this is unreal. And we just now get a break. This is really our first time logging laps and being chill. And we are 51 laps in. That is insane. Bassinez, Ray, Hennings, Haynes, and Hastings, the top 5. And guys, you see them backing way off. You see those big gaps. That is to save fuel. A couple cars on the outside make it 3. It's Merck, Craighead. Looked like Kenny McCullough. I think I saw Quentin Steinbach up there, David Flanagan up there. Flanagan is back on the lead lap. Jackson Anderson was with them too. He is not back on the lead lap. Flanagan is. He's worked his way back onto the lead lap. You see Hastings saving some big-time gas. And the caution flag is out. And... oh, we got one crashed big time out back. It was out of the camera frame, and I didn't even hear it. And it's Quentin Steinbach, and goodness, that car is destroyed. And again, I think this was outside the camera view, so I didn't really even see this one happen. Oh, boy. I believe he's going to have some help here from David Flanagan. Let's see. Flanagan, I just mentioned him, get back on the lead lap. And Steinbach, oh, man, he's all over the place. I mean, Steinbach wiggles once, and as they try to reset, I think Flanagan's going to, well, gets him sideways, and then as they try to readjust a second time, that's not the way you want your car to be pointing at the wall, and that is a monster impact for Steinbach. Anderson's on the brakes, but Anderson gets into it. Jackson Anderson's going to lose out on the lucky dog. He's involved in this one. And Steinbach and Anderson, really the only two cars that are heavily involved in this. That really is tough for Anderson, who was on the verge of getting back on the lead lap. Now we'll have to fix more damage. Take another look at this one. This one's pretty cut and dry in terms of how it goes down, but we'll take another closer look at it. Trying to get back to the front as guys save fuel on the inside. It's a prime opportunity to go get track position, especially with 3 other cars up top. And the first push appears to be square. That one's pretty good. It's this first one here that's not really loved by Steinbach's car, which is weird because he was completely squared up. And then as Steinbach comes back across, he's trying to readjust onto Flanagan's nose. Flanagan just had a hair of his front bumper outside of the 22, and that gets him sideways. And that's a huge hit. And then Anderson, you see him pile in as well. Man, nowhere for him to go. He committed to the top. It did not work. Unfortunate there for Jackson Anderson. Again, he was just about to get his lap back. I mean, it was going to be that caution if he had gotten on the brakes and gotten around that incident, but unfortunately not able to do so, and he's going to stay one lap down. One more look at it here before we go back to live action. Oh, there was some netcode there. Hold on a minute. Let's try to get a closer. This one may be good. I'll show you this again. Watch the 22 and the 89 of Trevor Osbernoff. Is there netcode here? I don't feel like that push from... Oh, yeah, look at Steinbach's car get, like, hooked in midair. Oh, man, that is so weird. That's the second bout of extreme netcode we've had tonight. Both of them, ironically, have involved Trevor Osbernoff. We had one earlier in the race with Jeff Merck and Trevor Osbernoff and Daniel Falkingham that sparked the first big wreck. And it looked like we had some there. On Osbernoff with Steinbach that kind of got him out of shape. I was going to say, I didn't feel like that push by Flanagan was overly egregious in terms of being offset to the left, but now I see there was some netcode there as well with the 22 and the 89, and that's what got this one started once again. Fourth caution of the night, 22 to go. We get in the late stages. You see everybody on the apron saving some gas. Oh, my goodness, they all pile drive into each other on the apron. Dylan Basin is the leader off pit road. Trevor Osbernoff second. Freddie Bassin is in third. Hunter Hastings is fourth. And one of those two cars is fifth. I think it's Nick Seipel. Sixth is Malik Ray. Oh, now they're all going backwards. I don't know who's running where. Basin's the leader. Osbernoff second. Bassin is third. Hastings fourth. I think it's Seipel fifth. Ray sixth. And then it is Kyler Wynn seventh. Brian Hennings eighth. Jared Haynes ninth. Stephen Miles 10th. Remainder of the top 10. As everybody saves some Sunoco race fuel here on the apron. We'll get one to go. We'll go back green with 20 laps to go. And again, what has been a really, really good race. Sean Corbett in the chat. Brandon Broadfoot in the chat. Shout out to those guys. And yeah, it was noted on the last caution. I'll note it here too. If you'll remember way back to when I kind of first started, one of my first gigs was the Little Guy Series, the Dega Pro's Little Guy Series that eventually moved here to PGR eSports for a time. A constant storyline of that series seemed to be the fuel gauge for one Trevor Osbernoff. It felt like more than once. He and or one or more of his teammates at the time at Kenneth Stamper Racing KSR would run out of gas, and it felt like it was pretty well weekly. It probably wasn't. That's an exaggeration, but it was a constant storyline back then. We're in a fuel mileage race tonight, and I don't believe Osbernoff pit under that caution. So we'll see if that storyline comes to bite us again. It comes to bite Trevor again, should I say. And he's run a good race tonight, but the fuel gauge may be his downfall in this one. A couple other guys I wanted to shout out in chat. Gerald Harper, Nathan Harper lost power tonight, it looks like, so unfortunate there. Harper either won or podiumed the last time we had these Gen 6 cars. I can't remember for the life of me. I think he might have won the last time we had these cars, so might have been the last time I was on the broadcast, too. So it's tough for Nathan Harper. Would have wanted him out here. He's good in this race car, but we'll have to wait and see till next time. Dylan Basin, Trevor Osbernoff lead the field back into the restart zone. 20 laps to go. The pay window is open. It's crunch time at Talladega. Green flag back in the air. It's a great start for Dylan Basin. He may be a little too good. A car length over Bassin has no help on the bottom. He'll jump to the middle. Oh, it's going to be a stack up here with Osbernoff as he's got two cars pushing through him, and Hastings and Seipel, that outside lane, off and running here in turn number 1. And it's all Dylan Basin on the inside. Bassin as Ray, Wynn, and Haynes. Outside builds a lot of cars, 15, 16 up there already. And the bottom now, a lot of real estate open for Michael Guest and whoever else wants to jump down there. Daniel Falkingham, Asher Little going to dive down there as well. Here comes Bassinez. He wants a taste of the lead. He'll get all the way there. Miles jumps down to the bottom, back behind him. Front 2 are clear. Front 3 may get clear here off of 4. Does Wynn just throw it to the wall and just try to get clear anyway? No. Basin gets back to his right rear quarter panel, but not for long. Front 3 clear now. Bassin is now front 4 clear back to Haynes. That outside lane just cannot get going. Front 4, make it front 5 clear. Bassin is Ray, Wynn, Haynes, Guest. Guest looking outside of Haynes. Not going to be anything there. That outside, man, it's just dropping like a rock. Now they're alongside Stephen Miles. Now they appear to have gotten back on their horse here. But for whatever reason, man, they were really slow early in that run. Not sure what the deal is there. They're alongside Michael Guest, so they'll get back alongside 5th and try to work their way forward. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jared Haynes make the move up there, but going to stay put on the inside lane for now and get passed up by a couple team cars. Front 3 still clear. Coming back, 18 laps to go. Back down to turn number 1. Basin alongside Haynes for 4. Triscaro, Real, Brambilla jump out of lineup on the safer barrier. They've got a big run. They're going to have a huge head of steam here down the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Introduce some new players. Chase Mistretta, Landon Velicki in line there as well. Eberhardt, Dylan Jones go with them as well. Big line of cars against the outside safer barrier. Seipel jumps out. Brambilla, Eberhardt have to jump out of line. Henning's going to try to get stuck 4 wide. He gets into Falkingham, but they all sorted out as Seipel jumped in front of Triscaro. Hastings jumps to the bottom. Only 2 cars in the middle. Basin and Osmanoff. Seipel will go back to the middle as Triscaro now again leads the top lane. Oh, man, Hennings and Seipel, that was close. In the middle lane, 3rd and 4th. Bassin is loving seeing this in his mirror. He's got familiar faces with Malik Ray and Kyler Wynn in his mirror as well. 17 to go at Talladega. Outside still trying to make it happen. It's Basin, Osmanoff, Seipel, Hennings, Merck, Craighead. Back through turns 1 and 2, that outside dissolved. Back around Triscaro and Brambilla and Real. Falkingham, Little up to the middle. And now a challenge for the lead. Here comes Dylan Basin in the offer pad. Toyota Camry. The outside finally gets the run they wanted. They get all the way back to the lead now in 3. They'll stay down to side draft here. Basin right on the door of the Busch Light 4 Mustang. Big time side draft there's going to park the 4. The 11 getting a little bit hot. Outside rolling, and it's the Jack Shack cars now 1-2. Falkingham, Craighead, Triscaro, Merck all waiting in the wings. 5th on back in the outside lane. Basin blocks Bassinez to the yellow line. 16 to go. Here comes Osmanoff. I don't love this spot for Trevor Osmanoff, considering he might be pretty close on fuel. Leading. Oh, he's going to get turned by Seipel into the outside wall. Osmanoff tries to keep it out of the field. He will. He'll have to just keep it up there. A sickening feeling. Now he comes off the wall. Trouble. Around goes Kenny Real, and the caution flag comes out as Osmanoff pulled a left off the wall. Well, Real appears to be okay. Looks like just a simple spin. And it will put us to another stop, kind of a bit of another interruption to this race here up front, as it was Osmanoff, and I wonder, we'll go back and look, but I wonder if Osmanoff had some kind of suspension damage to that race car. So we'll go back and take a look. We'll look up at Osmanoff first, as I'm really seriously wondering if he had some suspension damage here off of turn number 2 from this hit to the wall off Nick Seipel's push. He had just gotten alongside Dylan Basin here at the front, and it's this push right here. You see Seipel, you see how much of that nose peeks out of line. That's dangerous in this race car. Hooks Osmanoff left. Osmanoff initially overcorrects correctly, but he's going to bounce it off the outside wall, and it's this hit right here that I don't know if it knocked the suspension off. And he manages to keep it straight, and everybody's going by him. They're diving to the apron, and what happens back here? Oh, he hits the wall again. But then coming off turn 2, I mean, does he just hang a left? Is the suspension knocked out? I'm not really sure. Man, he hits it again. I think there was some kind of damage on board Trevor Osbornott's car. And that got him. And, man, this is a Jack Shack disaster. Back-to-back cautions, a couple of cautions tonight. A few Jack Shack cars have been involved in. Although for real and Veliky appears to be just a spin. I'm really curious about Osbornott here, and I'm curious about a couple things. I thought at first that it was maybe the suspension that was off, but then I thought about the idea of left rear netcode. I don't know if we're going to get a great angle of it here. We might have to go to a different one. No, we're going to get a pretty good look at it, looking right on down the back straightaway. Let's see. It is. I'm telling you what, I think it's that same left rear netcode we just had in the last caution with Quentin Steinbachen, as well as earlier in the first caution of the race with Daniel Falkingham. I'm almost positive that's what that was again. We'll go take another look, but I mean, I'm nearly positive we just had another bout of that brutal left rear netcode that for some reason, it has never been that bad until tonight. It is insane. See Osbornott get turned, and now watch as Veliky comes into frame, and let's see if that's what it is again. We're going to slow it down. Let's see if it's just Osbornott, because it's looked really unorthodox for Trev to just turn off the... Oh, yeah. I mean, it snaps. We'll get onboards with both of them here. I want to get an onboard with Trevor because I think his wheel input's going to give us the most knowledge of exactly what went on here. But I'm almost positive we just dealt with the same netcode incident we just had. Let's go on board with Trevor Osbornott. His wheel's going to give us a lot of idea of exactly what goes on in this caution. If it just kind of gets pulled out of his hand, I'm nearly positive we just had another bout of netcode. Let's see. You see him making the save. This is what I want to watch, so let's see if it... Oh, man. Yeah, it snaps out of his hand. He never turned that car left at all. You see center is right here about 11 o'clock. Go back and show you one more time. Watch this. So it's right here. So look, you see center is about 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. He's kind of got it centered. He's in the wall. Well, maybe it's that turn right there, but still. It might have been that one. But it does look a bit unorthodox, a bit unnatural there, the contact between Veliky and Osbornott. So not sure what the case was there, but nonetheless, both are involved in yet another incident. We're down to the final 12 laps at Talladega. It'll be 12 to go when we go back green. Dylan Basin is the leader. Freddie Bassinez is second. Row 2, Malik Ray and Kyler Wynn. Row 3, Jared Haynes, Jeff Merck. Row 4, Brian Hennings and Michael Guest. Row 5, Daniel Falkingham and Stephen Miles. Still drivers up here without a PGR win. Not doing my due diligence, I did not bring up the sheet. I know Brian Hennings does not yet have one. I'm not positive on Freddie Bassinez or Stephen Miles. We know Hunter Hastings does not. Austin Green's usually in my seat, so I don't think he does either. Cameron Craighead doesn't. Asher Little doesn't. Adam Young doesn't. There's a lot of guys outside the top 10 that don't have a win. And in the next-gen car, you can go from 12th to 1st pretty quickly. The other night, for example, I started 13th in Heat 2 on Monday night, and I drove from 13th to about 3rd-ish in basically a lap and a half. So it can absolutely be done. Mark Vondell in the chat. Good to see it as well. About to go green. Did get an update on Trevor Osbornott. It was a suspension damage thing. So it was that last left turn off the wall that we showed you there on that cockpit angle. But it was me suspension damage to the 89. And this car, man, when you get in the wall and you knock the suspension off, it is a more than a handful. It's a handful when you're going straight and your car's not damaged, let alone when you get suspension damage. So Trev not able to control the race car off the wall right there. Unfortunately, came off the wall and collected a couple of cars, including one of his teammates, Kenny Real. 12 laps to go at Talladega. Dylan Basin in the leader. Green flag back in the air at Talladega. Back through the Geico restart zone, or United Rentals restart zone. They go. Basin going to have a choice to make. Going to go to the middle on Bassinez. Not quite going to get there. Going to have to go back down in front of Malik Ray. Bassinez going to grab right rear. Basin going to be clear for the moment. Malik Ray not quite connected. Still not connected. And Bassinez goes to the lead on the help from Kyler Wynn. Outside, Dusty Martin. How about that move by the 35? But immediately gets split back out by Real, Velicki, Triscaro, and others. Bassinez, Wynn to the middle goes Guest. Wynn looking to the middle. Miles looking to the middle. They all try to block. Austin Green has to go high around Hunter Hastings. Thought they were crashing back around the middle of the field. They were not. Austin Green gets split. Hastings has help out back from Real, Velicki, and Triscaro. Daniel Falkingham into the picture. Jeff Merck into the picture. Stephen Miles, Cameron Craighead as well. But off turn 4, it's Bassinez and Basin to go side by side for the lead at the line. 11 laps to go. The push is getting more desperate. The blocks getting bigger and later. Real, Velicki go to the outside. They're going to try to make up ground. Miles jumps on the nose of Real. Those three cars get way separated. Miles stuck by himself now as Real and Velicki try to pick up that run. Oh, man, those cars are going to have a monster run if they can get connected, but they can't. Real gets in the wall. Falkingham in no man's land. Ray to the outside, jumps around Basin. Guest jumps to the middle. Wynn jumps to the middle. Bassinez blocking Wynn all the way to the yellow line. Merck left in no man's land now with no help. Ray, 4 car lengths behind him. Make it 3, make it 2. They will catch him. Malik Ray tries to come down, comes across Brian Hennings. He almost gets wrecked. Car in the wall. Miles. Caution is out. And Brambilla nearly gets sideways, and Stephen Miles going to catch the brunt of that as Malik Ray tried to block it down into line in turn 3. Was not clear. It ricocheted its way back, and Stephen Miles has a right front tire that is bobbling off that race car with 10 laps to go. Stephen Miles, he may not have even, I thought he's going to try to nurse it to pit road, but the right front tire, I saw it pop off right when he hit the wall, and you can tell from here it's towed way in. That's not where you want that right front to be. We'll see when he comes over here. He's got severe damage. So this one starts up front with Malik Ray, I think, trying to come down. It certainly was Malik Ray trying to come down. I want to see if it was contact or net code here. Well, it certainly looks like contact from that angle. I'm not sure if does he get a hit here from Daniel Falkingham? Ooh, he does, man. Big hit to the back of Ray. Well, that one was square. Does he get he gets another one. That's way offset. He gets an offset hit from Falkingham, who may have been trying to lean to his outside. And that hit knocks him down into Brian Hennings. Malik is trying everything he can to save the car. And as they stack up out back, it's actually, I thought it was the wall, but it was actually a hit to Triscaro. Oh, no, it's actually going to be the wall. There it is, right there for Miles. As he goes into the outside wall, the right front tire gets dislodged. Nash Brambilla goes through a Tokyo drift here off turn number 4 off Eberhardt. You see his hands working in that cockpit. And he's able to keep it going. I'm surprised everybody was able to keep it going as far up in the field as this started. Obviously, the toughest break here is Stephen Miles, but for the most part, that could have been a lot bigger than it was, and we get away with it being a relatively small incident again. Ooh! That hit the outside wall. It's going to be enough to cripple the 24 of Miles. Tough break there for Stephen Miles. We'll take another look. Can I get another straight-on shot of Malik Ray? I'm kind of curious. I've been curious with this all night. I'm curious with it again here. Was there net code from the 11 to the 74? There was. I mean, guys, this is getting a little bit ridiculous. It's been basically every caution. There's been some right front to left rear net code. We might have gotten away with this one if that had not happened, and you see Miles out back as well. I want to see if we can get a decent angle from Hennings to get an onboard of how far this netcode is. I mean, you can see it with the naked eye. It's drastic. I mean, it's so weird. That's not really a great angle. This might be a little better. Well, maybe not. Look at Malik Ray up top. You see him just off to the right of your screen. I mean, he's not going to be really in frame when he comes down across innings here. This is going to register as contact. I'm dumbfounded. We have run this car for weeks. You see that netcode before they ever make any contact? Then they actually do make contact. Maybe they never did. It was close. Regardless, strange bouts of netcode tonight. I mean, it's getting ridiculous now, though. At front of the field, oh no. Oh man, well the leader was David Flanagan, but he just blinked out and has not come back. So a tough break for the Jack Shack car, David Flanagan. As we'll await him to come back on track, but he just blinked out big time. As such, we'll line it up at the front. With now what will be 7 laps to go. It's Freddie Bassinez leading the way. Kyler Wynn second. Michael Guest third. Dylan Basin fourth. And Jared Haynes fifth. Then it's Jeff Mertz sixth. Brian Henning seventh. Daniel Falkingham back in eighth. Michael Triscaro ninth. And Cameron Craighead in 10th. Outside the top 10. I mean, still got Landon Veldege, Kenny Reel, Austin Green, Hunter Hastings, Asher Little, Daniel Eberhardt, Nick Seipel. I mean, you got a ton of big names out here outside the top 10. Jackson Anderson gets the lucky dog. He's back on the lead lap back there around 20th. And Flanagan has still not come back. That is a really tough break if that car stays off the track. Oh, he was DQ'd. Boy. Well, this is one of those fun times where, again, I can't see what happens in the session. Like, I don't have those messages up. But the fun thing is, we can go get a word with race control very quickly, and we'll get an update really quickly for you on that live. Boy, I hope he's not talking to the field, because we're not going to have much time to talk to him. Let's get our live race control up here, Evan Carlbon. Let's see what he's got to say about that with David Flanagan. Evan, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You get a copy.
Hello.
Well, I got you here really quickly. We're about to go back green, but wanted to get a very quick, brief update on David Flanagan's status for the end of this race. We saw him disappear just now a moment ago here at Talladega.
I called him out on a caution early in the race where he gave Steinbach a bad push. Sorry, he's yelling at me right now. But Flanagan, I called him out for a bad push on Steinbach early in the race. He got an EOL. This one, he got a DQ because he's pushing Mike into Falkingham, who hits the corner of Malik's car, causing him to get down into Hennings. All that brigade, but you're responsible for the car in front of you. So I'm like, Mike is lifting, Falkingham is lifting, but David's still pushing into Mike. So that's how I called it. But if he wants to dispute it, he can.
Boy, big update for the end of the race. Appreciate you talking to me for a second. We are back green, so I'll let you go back down and do your job. Thanks for joining me. Maybe we'll be talking to you in a minute if it gets controversial here.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
There you go, race controller Evan Carlbon. Boy, laying the hammer on David Flanagan. A penalty and a DQ for the 16 to David Flanagan tonight. His race is over. Meanwhile, by the way, we got a race going on up front. 6 to go at the line. And it's Bassinez and Basin that lead the way. We got to turn our focus back up here. Another focus is going to be on Flanagan, but out back Malik Ray's making moves with Osborne in the middle. They're trying to get back to the front. At the line, 6 laps to go at Talladega. D3 through the middle. How about Eberhardt? And Seipel as well. Oh, but they bail out. Seipel goes to the middle. 3 cars go to the middle. Falkingham, Merck, Triscaro, Reel all go to the middle. Austin Green splits out Reel. He's on the high side with Seipel and Mistretta. Eberhardt jumps in front of Green. It's jockeying from 10th on back. Bassinez leads with Kyler Wynn. Then it's the NBG teammates Merck and Falkingham. To the middle goes Eberhardt. He'll have Austin Green and Michael Triscaro, the unlucky man in this one. He'll have no help. And still no help going to him with 6 laps to go. He's going backwards. But again, Gen-6 race car, still plenty of time for the Barks Chevrolet to get back ground or be the beneficiary of a wreck up front, which I can't imagine is not going to happen. Freddie Bassinez continues to lead. The NBG teammates now are who I'm looking at, as well as David Flanagan. All of a sudden, fellow broadcaster Austin Green is inside the top 10, looking for a cash spot, maybe even a podium, maybe even a win here at Talladega. Basin, big push on the inside. That is from Michael Guest. Basin all the way to the lead on the push of Bassinez. Oh, man, Osbornoff and Ray got really squirrely back there. Oh, boy, Eberhardt blocked Green, and Mistretta and Velicki, they got sideways for a moment. They all keep it straight. Oh, man, Kyler Wynn gets a shot from out back from Eberhardt. Guest from bottom to middle on Jeff Merck's nose. The NBG teammates hung a left. Bottom side, it's Haynes, Hennings, Craighead, Hastings, Little, and others. Eberhardt, does he look 4 wide right there? Oh, Merck is a little bit too far off to the right in the middle lane. Guest's going to have to bail to the bottom as Merck now leads the middle. When they get back, 4 laps to go. If we make it to the white flag, the race is official. 1 green-white checkered will be used tonight. Anytime a caution comes out between now and the white flag will trigger overtime. It'll be the only attempt. These guys want it to go green right here, though. Still Basin up front. Bassinez looks a lane lower. He takes Wynn with him. Bassinez, Wynn, 1-2. Middle comes back with Merck. Oh, man, Eberhardt, a big shot. Austin Green trying to lift. 4 wide back around Eberhardt. Trouble. Back around Jeff Merck. The big one in the middle of the pack. Malik Ray, Daniel Eberhardt, Cameron Craighead, Jeff Merck, and several front-running cars sideways spinning, damaged on the back straightaway at Talladega. Oh, and Kenny McCullough gets a piece of Daniel Eberhardt. And just like that, somebody planted a bomb in the front of the field. And it just went off with 3 to go. And this is heavy-hitting cars, by the way. Jackson Anderson appears to be involved. Eberhardt, Triscaro, Merck. This is heavy hitters here that have been at the front for a lot of tonight's race that are now involved in a caution with 4 laps to go that will send us to overtime. It started right back here around Merck and Eberhardt. The pushes got big. The side drafting got tight. And right here off turn 2, you think they're all just going to kind of come together in a really bad spot. And you guys are never going to believe this. Well, okay, that didn't really cause the incident, though. Ooh, it's out back. A big push from Austin Green to Daniel Eberhardt. We make it through that. We end up 4 wide, and this is kind of when it's going to start. Oh, bad push right there. Oh, actually, they wrecked out back as well. We'll have to go back and look at that one in a moment. But it's Falkingham, an offset push to Merck. Then Eberhardt gets in the right rear of Merck. They spin up. Austin Green gets involved. There you see Eberhardt. Malik Ray's going to get a hit there from Chase Mistretta. Malik Ray goes sideways. Landon Velicki's involved in the 62. Cameron Craighead gets turned by Mistretta. That's the 48 up ahead, that red and white car. There was a secondary incident further back, too, we'll have to go back and look at. So that was the first one. The second one was back around Michael Triscaro. And this involves him. Trevor Oswinoth again. It's about the 4th wreck Trevor Oswinoth's been in tonight. Let's get up top for this one. I think it's as this stack up starts, these guys are going to try to jump on the brakes and find the gap. Oh, actually, no. Oswinoth just trying to get up to the high lane, misjudges, and just gets right in the wheel well of Michael Triscaro, turns him left. He gets Kenny Reel, who in turn turns Kenny McCullough. Adam Young gets involved. Jackson Anderson, Hunter Hastings. Boy, about 4 Jack Shack cars involved in wrecks right there. You see up ahead, there's Malik Ray and Mistretta and Craighead and Eberhardt and Merck and Velicki all crashing. And back here, it's Triscaro, Hastings, McCullough, Reel, Anderson, and Adam Young. That's our biggest wreck. Well, 2 wrecks, I suppose, of the night. About 13 or 14 cars, a lot of them inside the top 15 at the time of this incident. We'll take one more look at the first wreck and try to get the second one at the same time. Let's see if there's a better angle for it. I'm not really sure. This one might be decent. Let's look ahead first at Jeff Merck, and then we'll go back and we'll watch the second one with Triscaro and Reel. They actually kind of start at the same time. You see Triscaro spin sideways. Oh, man, Merck gets pinned to the wall big time. That was a big hit. Malik Ray gets the wall. There's damage on the 11. Same with Eberhardt. And now watch Eberhardt come back up and get Kenny McCullough right there on the left side of your screen. They actually hit off the frame as well. One more look at the wreck towards the tail end of the field as well with Triscaro and company. And then we'll try to get back green for our only overtime, or go back live for our only overtime attempt. Dusty Martin, Asher Little scrambling out of the way. Does Triscaro keep it off the wall? No. Oh, Hunter Hastings did, though. Holy cow. Not sure how Hastings kept that thing off the wall. But not much damage, it appears, to Triscaro. In fact, there must not be any because he stayed out on the racetrack. All right, here's how this is going to work. 2 laps to go. We are in PGR eSports overtime. A rule change about a month and a half ago has dictated only 1 overtime attempt will be needed, or will be granted, for each Thursday night or PGR sanctioned race, shall we say. So this is it. This is the only attempt at overtime. We'll have 2 laps to go. If a caution occurs in or directly around the money positions, tonight that is top 8 on the racetrack. I just realized I didn't do payouts either. If it occurs in or around the top 8 on track before we make it back to the white flag, the race will be under caution. The race will be over. It will be official, and iRacing scoring will score the ending of tonight's race. If it's behind the money positions, if it's in the back of the field, and it's on this first lap, the caution flag will be held. We will run this one out under green. If we make it back to the white flag, the race is official. It will end under green, and whatever happens, even if it's in the money positions, will happen. Obviously, if a call needs to be made, we'll hold everything at the end of tonight's race, allow race control to make a decision, and give you that updated information on the spot. 1 attempt, 2 laps. If they make it back to the white flag, the race is official. If a crash happens inside the money positions or around them, a caution will be thrown, and iRacing scoring will determine the winner of tonight's race. Here we go. 2 laps to go. Row 1, Freddie Bassinez, Kyler Wynn. Row 2, Michael Guest, Dylan Basin. Row 3, Jared Haynes and Daniel Falkingham. Row 4, Nick Seipel, Brian Hennings. Row 5, Chase Mastretta and Asher Little. And a whole host of contenders behind them that would like to try to get to PGR victory lane. It's sure to get crazy up front. How crazy will it get? We're about to find out. 2 laps to go at Talladega. We're going to settle it right here into the tri-oval and into the restart zone for the final time. Freddie Bassinez on the loud pedal. Green flag in the air. We're underway for overtime. Cars will spend most of this first lap getting up to full song. Both of the front 2 get up to the outside. That's Guest and Bassinez. They'll have Wynn behind them. Bottom lane led by Haynes, Seipel, and Mastretta, who are pushing for everything they are worth right now. Asher Little's in that line as well. Who's the first to move? Little jumps up. Oh, he gets in the fence. The trouble's back around Triscaro. Will the caution flag be held? It will. Still green. Asher Little got around outside the money positions. Malik Ray, Cameron Craighead through the middle. They go all the way to the bottom. Bassinez up front unchallenged. Win down to the middle as Haynes gets a big run here into 3. The Jack Shacks. Jared Haynes turns Bassinez at the front. Bassinez saves it, gets in the wall. We're still trying to wreck. Off of 4, they're going to make it all the way back. They're going to scramble here at the white flag. Seipel through the lead. Chase Mastretta is second. Through the trial for the penultimate time. White flag is up. 1 lap to go at Talladega. It's all bets are off now. Seipel to the block of Haynes. Haynes shoots the gap. Seipel blocks back down. Mastretta on the bottom, help from Kyler Wynn. Dusty Martin, where did he come from? But it's Seipel on the outside that has the run. Hennings trying to bully his way up. So is Malik Ray. So is Michael Guest and Daniel Falkingham. Down the Alabama gang super stretch for the final time. Mastretta on the bottom with Kyler Wynn. They just don't have the cars. It's Seipel into 3 with the lead. Jared Haynes is second. You can't make the move too late. He tries to go to the bottom. No dice. Seipel blocks it. Got to get back in line. Basin trying to push Haynes. Here comes Michael Guest on the outside. The 21 with Malik Ray. They scramble back to the start-finish line. Guest through the middle. Haynes on the bottom. Drag race for the win at Talladega. At the line, Jared Haynes is a PGR winner. And we will hold everything. What a win for Jared Haynes, first of all. But we will hold everything. Oh my goodness, Kyler Wynn. Sorry, I got distracted. Kyler Wynn just blew his car up back there on the backstretch. We'll hold everything here because there was an incident right at the entrance to turn 3 on the 2 laps to go lap with Haynes and Bassinez. We'll take a look at it momentarily. For now, Jared Haynes is the winner. We'll go back and take a look. And boy, you want a celebration, you're going to get one right here. It's the Jack Shack's Jared Haynes. For the first time in his career, he's a PGR winner. And he's going to burn it down here on the front stretch. We'll make sure to get him the proper camera angle for this burnout. Again, one that is long in the making. So he completes his burnout. Goodness, I'm struggling with my voice here after that finish. Let's go through your finishing results. We'll await a potential race control call. We'll go through the results. We'll go to a replay, and then we'll get your top three in here for some interviews. So let's go through the results first. Again, unofficially, the last lap, everything is reviewed inside the money position, so we'll keep an eye on any potential decisions coming up. Jared Haynes, as of now, is your race winner by just over a tenth of a second over Dylan Basin. Michael Guest goes third tonight. That's a tough break for Michael Guest. I thought he made the move of the race in the trial to go three wide. He finishes third. Daniel Falkingham goes fourth tonight with Nick Seipel in fifth. You can't even convince me how Malik Ray got all the way from the back to sixth, but he manages to. Kyler Wynn goes seventh, Jeff Merck eighth, Daniel Eberhardt in ninth, Cameron Craighead in 10th. Nice recovery for Jackson Anderson. Didn't cash tonight, but the resilience to stay in the race. He goes 11th. Chase Mastretta 12th. Dusty Martin 13th. Adam Young 14th. And Brian Hennings in 15th. It's Hunter Hastings that goes 16th tonight. Michael Triscaro 17th. Trevor Osmernoth 18th. Kenny Reel 19th. And Freddie Bassinez in 20th. It's Nash Brambilla 21st. Asher Little 22nd. Austin Green 23rd. Landon Velicki 24th. Kenny McCullough 25th. Stephen Miles 26th. Tucker McClendon 27th. Dylan Jones 28th. Quentin Steinbach 29th. And Kevin Jaden 30th. Josh McCullough, 31st. Mike Davenport, 32nd. Chris Carter, 33rd. David Flanagan, 34th. Joe Huerta, 35th. And Paul Turner, 36th. Those last two cars did not make tonight's opening grid. Let's go take a look at the white flag lap. Actually, really, we're probably going to have to go back a little bit further than that. And then we do have our top three, so we'll try to make this quick. Let's go up top. That's the easiest way to see it. I want to go back a little bit further to the contact between Jared Haynes and Freddie Bassinez here. I wonder now if it might be netcode, but we're going to double check before we go to interviews. We'll obviously make sure with race control as well, but is Bassinez also, is he in the act of blocking here? Let's see if he's coming all the way down. Coming off turn 4. We'll watch the white flag lap briefly as well because there was some stuff that happened behind the leaders, but is he coming down to block? It's netcode. Ah, man, it's that left rear netcode again. That's what gets Bassinez out of shape, and Haynes is also getting driven through, by the way, 3 cars deep by Seipel and Mastretta. Bassinez able to make the save. The fact that he's actually able to make the save may prevent any kind of discipline here for the 007, because Bassinez actually keeps this car moving. So that may actually save him in the end. As Bassinez is able to somehow make a Herculean save. And then it was on from there. This is the white flag lap. Boy, I loved the position. Chase Mastretta was in, but their help evaporated on the bottom, and Seipel kind of hung him out. See Basin get behind Jared Haynes. Jared's going to owe Dylan Basin dinner next week. You see they kind of get all spread out back around Brian Hennings. They start to crash. And it all kind of simplifies itself here off turn number 4. But we end up with just a few cars here at the front of the field. Jared makes one move. Seipel blocks it. Basin lifts, gets back in line. Guest and Ray get to the outside. Now watch this move by Michael Guest. Oh boy, Craighead in the back. I'm not sure what was going on back there. Guest to the middle, but the help was on the bottom with Jared Haynes. Neither of the other two cars had help. They parachuted. Jared Haynes got all the way through to win tonight's race. An electric race at Talladega. Let's go back, get you the margin of victory. Get you the finish up on the screen as well. As Jared Haynes comes home a PGR winner for the first time in his career. And again, yeah, kind of a lengthy career at this point. 2 years of working for a moment like this for Jared Haynes, and it comes together at Talladega Superspeedway tonight in the Gen-6. Let's get the best angle here. Oh boy, I have none. Great. We'll go with that one. We'll actually go with this one. High atop Talladega Superspeedway. We're going to hit a quick momentary break. No commercials or anything. We're just going to jump around here for a second. We're going to make sure that everything is all set with Jared Haynes. Then we'll get to your top three for some interviews. Stick with us. It's PGR eSports coverage of the Intimidator Superspeedway Series. We'll be right back to talk to your top three. Back live at the Talladega Superspeedway. Just got with race control as they are discussing some things post-race. We got with them real quickly. The results are official. Jared Haynes is the winner tonight at Talladega, so no discipline coming for that contact with Freddie Bassanez. We'll await to see throughout the week if that changes. But as of now, Jared Haynes is your winner. Let's get into it. We'll start with the man who finished third tonight. It's the 21, the Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver, Michael Guest, who gets the podium finish. Thought he made the move of the race. Unfortunately, did not have help when it mattered most. He comes home third. A great finish for him tonight at Talladega. Michael Guest, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Well, a crazy one to say the least. We expected it with these race cars tonight, and it lived up to the billing. An overtime finish that goes 6, 7, 8 different ways on the last lap alone. For a second, to me, it looked like you made the move of the race, diving inside of Nick Seipel to get to the middle. At the end of the day, though, the help doesn't shape up for you. A third-place finish. Take me through a wild night from your perspective here at Talladega.
Yeah, I really can't complain. There's a lot of people in this race, and about halfway I got some damage on the right side, and it really slowed my car down. Like, it was tough to stay up front and be the lead car. So, I kind of hung out around the 20s for most of the race, and luckily around probably the last 15 laps or so, I got in a good line with my teammates and went to the front then, and with the short runs at the end, I was able to stay up there pretty easily. And of course, having teammates up there, made that a lot easier. So appreciate that one of these went well for all of us, and that some of our teammates got some money tonight.
Well, profitable night for sure. And we start to look forward now. I kind of, preluded to it earlier in the broadcast tonight. There is a chance this is the race car selected for the SummerSlam 499, so kind of a two-part question for you here as we continue. Number one, can we expect to see you in that event? And number two, would you like to see this car as potentially the car for the SummerSlam 499 here in about a month's time?
Yeah, hopefully so. I'm going to try to plan myself to be available for that race. And I don't know, after the next gen got its updates, I think this is the most fun draft car right now, so I definitely try to do all these that I can when I see the Gen 6 pop up at Talladega. I think it's the best combo that we've got right now.
Certainly has produced some fun racing the past few days and produced another good one tonight. It's a third place finish for you here tonight at Talladega in PGR eSports. So before we let you go and enjoy the winnings a little bit, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, of course, you guys for doing the broadcast, PGR guys, this whole community. I really enjoy doing this stuff. And of course, my team, we did pretty good tonight.
A lot of fun to watch as well. Profitable for you guys as a team also. Thanks for talking to me for a second. Congratulations on the third place finish. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We will talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
Michael Guest, the 21, the third place finisher in tonight's race. Let's move to the second step of the podium now. Dylan Basin in the 11 machine as he comes home with another second place finish tonight at Talladega. Going to jab him a little bit about that, all in good fun, as we get his thoughts on a wild one tonight at Talladega. Dylan, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
You know, I saw you mention this in one of the chat rooms, and I want to jab you about it here. I was going to call you Sheldon Creed of PGR here with another P2 finish for you, but no, all in good fun. A second place finish, a chaotic race to say the least. Some of the best racing I've seen in a long time. You led a bunch of laps, you had to fight back a bunch of times, kind of back and forth, a roller coaster. Take me through an exciting night for you at Talladega.
Honestly, man, I can't even explain everything that happened. Too much went on. You know, we stayed out when everyone was pitted right there. We were short on fuel, and I decided to try to save it all and get track position, which thankfully worked out because we got yellows at the end like I expected. Yeah, the finish there, I'm hoping they don't take away Jared's win, man. And it was netcode between him and I forgot his name, Freddie. And they're talking about it down there, I guess. And I don't think netcode should be reason anyone's win should get taken away because I was very happy to push my teammate to P2 and collect another P2. But at least, unlike Sheldon Creed, I've actually won a race before, so I guess it's a little bit different. But yeah, that ending was just wild. You know, I was just looking for my one teammate in the midst of, you know, Kyler and Guest and Malik there because they're all together and they're trying to help him out, and it worked out. So hopefully the results stand the way it is. I don't want him in a race like that. I know it would really suck for him if he got it taken away. So hopefully he just they agree that it's netcode like I see it, and just move on from there.
Well, I know there obviously are going to be discussions happening. Now, we have heard from Race Control, the wins official, so you guys can at least take solace in that for now. You know, now we start to look forward, and I just asked Michael Guest about the SummerSlam 499. I'll do the same with you. And kind of the same two-part question. It's coming up in a month. Number one, can we expect to see in the event? And number two, you know, what would you think about the prospect of this car being the car for that event? You've run well in the Gen-6 over the past several weeks. You're up front leading a bunch of laps. Obviously would be near the top of the list of favorites for the event. You know, what are your thoughts on that? And can we expect to see you here in a month's time on August 2nd for prelims?
Yeah, well, let me check the calendar real quick, because I'm usually always available, but it's on a Sunday for prelims? Yeah, we got that. I'll be there. And for this car, I mean, I love it. I know in a race like that, with the package this thing has, it might wreck a lot of cars out early in the race, and the ending might be a ghost town, unless everyone just keeps their P's and Q's and doesn't wreck it. But I mean, we see how crazy the runs in this thing are, and the contact and side drafting. So I feel like a few bid wrecks would happen during the race, and that it would thin out a little bit. But in terms of pure racing product nowadays, like the next gen got its update, and it's a little bit different now. The Xfinity car and the trucks get gridlock. So honestly, this is like the best choice. This is a Gen 4, but I know the Gen 4 isn't really the favorites among most people. So I think this is definitely a good choice for the SummerSlam race.
Well, Gen 4, another fun package as well. But tonight in the Gen 6, a chaotic race. You end up in second. You know, pretty decent payday for you. Obviously, you talked about the teammate benefit there as well. Nice one, too, for the Jack Shack tonight as well. So before we let you go and enjoy the winnings and obviously enjoy the night with your team as well, anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
I just want to thank you guys for you broadcasting specifically, and then Mike for, you know, having PGR around and stuff. I know everything's been a little crazy these last few days in the money racing community, but it's good to have everything come back to normal and have another good night of racing. And I'd like to thank Jack Shack Racing and Team Conti Sim Performance, and thanks to my family that was watching this race.
I appreciate you for talking to me for a second. A second place finish for you tonight. Congrats on the effort tonight for you and for the team win for the Jack Shack as well. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We will talk to you soon.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Dylan Basin, second in tonight's race. And leads us to what will likely be a very happy man in PGR Esports victory lane for the first time in his career. A 2-year money racing career culminates tonight with the biggest win certainly in his career to this point. It's Jared Haynes in victory lane at Talladega after a wild one. Imagine you're going to hear very happy driver of the 007 for the Jack Shack. Let's hear what he's got to say. It's Jared Haynes, the winner of tonight's race. Jared, it's Dawson in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's try to break this one down. Obviously, let's start with the last lap. A bit chaotic, really the whole restart. We saw some contact with you and Freddie Bassinez. We saw you jockeying for position. Take me through overtime from your perspective and how you ended up ahead of the pack when we got back to the checkered flag.
And we ended up being able to catch up, and then I've got Sipple back there, and this is why I'm not worried about them taking this away from me. If you look at the replay, he's clearly up and down on my back bumper. And whenever I'm drifting up, he's coming down to the left side rear of my bumper. So that's what gets me up. But it was net code either way, so I probably wouldn't have hit him there if it hadn't have been for the net code. So I don't know. They can do what they want with that. But yeah, and he wrecked. I ended up being able to save it, and Dawson told me that he was with me and came with me all the way to the line.
A frantic GWC finish like you just talked about, but at the end of the day, you come home the winner. And, you know, kind of being around you guys a lot, I know how much this one probably means to you, but I do want to pose the question. PGR, a very prestigious promotion. It's hard to win here. Not a lot of guys have done it, and the guys that have, I mean, you could read off the list. Cody Nagels, Malik Ray, Kyler Wynn, Michael Guest, Daniel Falkingham. You know, these are top-tier sim racers. You now join that club. What is the emotion like? What is the feeling like? Just tell me through, you know, what was running through your mind when you crossed the line first and it kind of hits you that you're a PGR winner.
Couldn't hear anybody else in our Discord, dude. I was freaking hype, hollering. Dude, there isn't another feeling like it. I've won other series. I've been in the playoffs in other series. But this is the one that just kept on getting away from me. I've been close, but I end up either A, getting wrecked, or B, just having a bad night and ending up in the back. But to win this one, it feels so freaking good, man. I don't even know how to put it into words. But I've been chasing it for 2 years now, and finally got it. If you would have got me like 10 minutes ago, dude, I was still on the high.
We'll remember that for the next one, and that kind of leads me into my, you know, one of my final questions here is, you know, oftentimes, and this happened for me on the league side when I got my first win. Once you get the first one, you kind of, you know, take a deep breath and realize, okay, I can do this, and you start winning more. Is that kind of the feeling now? Is it a, you know, monkey off your back situation where we can expect more of this? Kind of take me through that part of it and what we can expect. Because, I mean, you know, remember, a month away, the SummerSlam 499, that's the biggest race of the summer. You've just gotten your first win. The first one's always the hardest to get. What can we expect here going forward now that you've gotten one under your belt?
Absolutely, dude. I've always been kind of a timid in the back, kind of a reserved driver. But here as of late, probably the last 10 races I've run, not just here, but other places too, I try to stay up front as much as possible. And I'm definitely getting more aggressive. So yeah, definitely now that this monkey's off my back, you'll be seeing me up here more.
We're definitely looking forward to it going forward. A win for you here tonight, the first here for you in PGR. You join, again, a very illustrious club of drivers who can say they've won in this series. So before we let you go and continue to celebrate not only the win but also with your team as well, anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Hell yeah, brother. Jack Shack, man. Just a great group of guys, great group of now what I call friends, always working together. I really appreciate Basin there. He could have gone around, but he chose to stick to my bumper, so I appreciate him. My family for always watching these, and my wife for letting me race. Y'all for putting on the broadcast, and Mike for running PGR the way he runs it. It's always a good time.
Another good time here tonight, and a really big win for you. Again, number one for you in your career in PGR. Thanks for talking to me for a second. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. Thanks for talking to me. Congratulations on the win, and we will talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, buddy. All right, bud.
Jared Haynes, the 007 for the Jack Shack, the winner tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. And what a race it was here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. As we start to draw our coverage to an end, Jared Haynes gets the win. here at Talladega, a big one in his career. He joins a club of drivers that is very exclusive. Not everyone, not a lot of drivers on this service can say they've won a race in PGR on a Thursday night. Jared Haynes now puts his name on that illustrious list here in tonight's race. Boy, what a fun one that was. It was a late one. It's 12:20 here on the East Coast, but regardless, a great race tonight in the Gen-6 car. Let's get you on tap for what we've got coming up. We will not race tomorrow as usual. We're off for the holiday week / holiday weekend. The 4th of July is Friday. Please enjoy the holiday weekend. Enjoy the July 4th festivities this weekend with friends and family. No racing this weekend that I know of anyways that's going on. There may be some small things put up last minute, but nothing major in terms of promotions this weekend. Monday night is the next PGR eSports recruitment race for the SummerSlam 499 back. I want to say in these Gen-6 cars, we'll see what it actually is. It may rotate a little bit to a different car. That'll be on Monday night. One of us will be on the broadcast, myself, Mike, Landon. One of us will be up here bringing you along the way. And the next Tuesday night, it's kind of back to normal after this holiday week. Ron Morris Racing's Tuesday Night Thunder is back next week. The Challenger Cup Series is back next week. For RMR, it'll be Mike and Ron on the call. For the Challenger Cup Series, 8:30 next week at Chicago Street Course. It'll be myself on the call for that one. And then Austin Green, our colleague, will have the call of the Grindstone Development Truck Series as well. It starts at 9 p.m. here on PGR Esports. We'll see about what next Wednesday night, still to be determined, but stay close to the channel on Wednesday next week, see if we got anything going. I believe the series comes back full-time next week on Thursday nights as anticipated for the Intimidator Superspeedway Series as regularly scheduled programming resumes next week here on PGR Esports. We're a month away from the SummerSlam 499. If you liked what you saw tonight, stick around for the next month. The SummerSlam 499, the biggest sim race of the summer, coming up in a month's time. It's going to be a can't-miss event. The event will be capped at 200 entries. We fully expect to max out that number. It'll be all-day racing on Saturday, some racing on Friday night, all day on Saturday, and then, of course, the big afternoon feature on Sunday. I'll be on the microphone for a lot of it. Going to be honored to be a part of that big event and a part of all three now marquee events for PGR, including that one we got coming up in a month. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really grateful for the opportunities that I get. Grateful for the opportunity to call one tonight. Thank you so much for coming out and watching and bearing through a bit of a long one tonight, but boy, was it a good race. It was entertaining, and it was chaotic as we expected. Lives up to the billing. Jared Haynes wins at Talladega, his first career PGR Esports win. That's going to do it for us. My name is Dawson Wise. Thank you so much for coming out, using the chat, and interacting, and liking the stream, and the super chat as well from Joe Seipel. Appreciate you also. Appreciate everybody for coming out and supporting our product week in and week out. Next race for us is Monday night. It's another SummerSlam 499 recruitment race. Until then, enjoy the holiday weekend. Happy 4th of July, and we will see you all next week.